Alrighty, you're live. The floor is yours.
Thank you.
Okay, we're ready to open the meeting of December the 8th, Board of Assessors. Our first order of business will be approval of the minutes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
The minutes are approved. Ms. Carter has the floor.
I have the Government already has a 2020 Microsoft Corporation project amendment to their tax incentive agreement that they would like our chairman to sign. Of course, you're just signing an acknowledgement of the agreement, and it states the Board of Assessors has no authority to approve or deny tax incentive agreements or tax abatement. It's acknowledging to have the abatement.
That it's been provided to us.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Sherry, it's a little hard hearing you. I'm sorry. It's a little hard hearing you from the mic here.
To vote that I have the authority to sign this acknowledgement of an amendment to the tax incentive agreement between Microsoft and the City Council of Douglasville.
Okay. Thank you.
Again, we're just acknowledging that the Board of Assessors has received a copy. The tax commissioner has to do the same thing. He has to acknowledge that he's received a copy, and both have a disclaimer that says that we don't have any responsibility for it necessarily, but we just acknowledge that we got it.
Hey,
Okay.
Sherry, normally the board votes to authorize him to do that. Do you want them to get that in the minutes too?
So I'll entertain a motion to authorize me to sign this document.
FSG side.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Motion
Aye.
second. I'll hereby sign the document.
Hey, guys, if you want to move the laptop a little bit further down the table, that way they can pick up a little bit more of what everyone's saying, especially the speaker at the very end.
Which way you want to go? This way? Oh, right here probably. We're changing the cord, Tilly.
I can sit back and take my mask off.
Oh, I see a tab here. I bet that's what I signed.
Yeah, that's where it is.
I wasn't looking.
That's exactly.
Now, we know with Sherry about Tom Warren thing being on the organization. He said that's probably the old one. I will just put it over here. Do I need to date it?
Yes.
I'll date it. You have the floor, Ms. Crocker.
I just handed out a list of the first two business personal property accounts closed in 2020, so we're going to account for 2021. The next three accounts adjustments are recommended in reviewing the accounts and information furnished by the business. Number 6, business closed in 2019. They did not notify us for that account for 2021. Number 7 is actually a duplicate account, so we need to void that account for 2001. Number 8, the owner sold one of the jet skis, so we're adjusting on that account for 2020. Number 9, voiding the account for 2019, 2021. They closed in 2018. I was able to verify it closed. Same thing as number 10, voiding the account for 2021 because it closed in 2020. The next group is homestead. And I have listed on there if it's to reinstate or to approve, because like a veteran, disabled veteran can apply anytime between January 1st, well,
Anything.
they can apply through the end of the year, December 31st. So that's why you'll see some of those coming across. And we have a couple to reinstate because they just burned their proof assessment.
Okay.
So let's all look at those and let me know. Number 5 is homestead issue, because we had the flood base incorrect. We did correct it for 2021 at the last meeting, but she came in and wanted to correct it. We can go back 3 years, so she wanted to correct it back to 2008. Next group is, I'll have a couple of car fields. The first one is adjust the value due to the market value of the vehicle. And the next one is adjust the value due to mileage and condition. And the last item I have is a Board of Equalization appeal settlement. This appeal has been certified to Board of Equalization. It is a free court issue. They were able to furnish the information needed to grant $2,832,838 in free. They had originally applied for almost $5 million, but some of them did not qualify. That's why it's kind of taking a while to get it.
So we entertain the motion to approve these appeals, digest changes, and homestead.
I'd like to make a motion, we approve the appeals list as presented at this time.
Have a motion in a second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Sherry.
Thanks, Sherry.
Do you have anything to sign on this?
It's on the back.
Okay. Looks like Ms. Withington. Archie is gonna retire, so better grab it quick.
Yes, while we wait on Lynn, I'll just update the board on what's happening in the office. We have currently, Sherry has indicated that she will be retiring effective the 24th of December. And we have one resignation. Rodney has tendered his resignation. He will leave on January 7th. Sean is having some, he's off on family medical leave. He just got a newborn and he had some health issues. So, so Sean is on. So we are currently faced with a staff shortage.
2 appraisers.
2 appraisers and 2 senior appraisers, basically. Well, one
Is
yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, and there is a shortage of qualified staff. I can tell you, Cobb County is advertising, Powhatan County has advertised, Gwinnett County has advertised, and Coral County. And I think also Pauling. I've not seen the Pauling ads, but all the others, they are, and it's from the same pool. It's Department of Revenue that does the training for all these. So,
Do we need to, if you think we can do to help you with this category, but I think we'll talk about an agreement with Ms. Weddington about some part-time work.
right, and the same offer is out there. So yeah, we're looking at creative ways to keep the operation functional and efficient. So I am definitely looking. I'm working with HR and definitely looking at creative ways to be efficient. We are about to embark on the commercial property revaluation exercise. Tyler is here. They have this week they have come in and we are getting some data to them so they can start to get into the field to do eval all our commercial properties by Tyler Technologies. So they kicked off this week. And that's pretty much what's happening, the things that need to be currently.
Mr. Bell, for a quick question.
Are those?
Are they primarily appraisers that showed up?
Yes, appraisers that are certified by the board, the Department of Revenue. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Martin, were you saying something?
Yeah, I was just going to ask, are the positions currently actively advertised? And are we thinking that, well, first, let me ask that. And then if they are, have we been getting any applications in?
The personal property supervisor position has been advertised over 2 months now, and there are no qualified applicants. We lowered the requirements and we increased the entry level salary. And to date, still no qualified applicants.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
That's a good question. There is training as well as the aptitude to do the job. I can tell you, Sherry, her 30 years is not easily replaced, as well as the fact that Sherry had 2 positions. Sherry was admin coordinator as well as personal property supervisor. So he was holding down a lot. Yeah. So, but we're looking at creative ways of making it happen. But it's no one that did 30 years and 34 years will be easy to replace.
Okay. All right. Well, please keep us posted on those, because we definitely, if we're getting into a staffing and resource crunch, that's definitely could be a challenge there as we get ready for next year.
Absolutely. So that's my reason for bringing it now, and I'll be keeping you updated as we go along.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, if there's anything we could do, let us know.
Absolutely. Lynn is here in the meeting, so we can proceed.
Yep, Ms. Weathington, you're next.
Good morning, Lynn.
What I'm going to hand out is going to be a combination of claim for property refunds along with combining some appeals, and we'll talk about that as we go along. Everybody got a copy? Okay, this one is a claim for property refund, 458.18.245. The value that was on the lot, and the value was $18,000. That was something that was outlot money with $18,000. The current possession policy is the lot value. Okay, the next one is 148.2535, and that's going to take care of 3 years. Original value was $2,400, current value is $1,003, and that was a result of a minor acreage change. And the acreage was at 106 acres. Next one is 552. This is a claim for property refund and an appeal for 2021. The original value was 1,623.90. Fair market is 45.5. For 2020, there's a house on this parcel in, done since 2012 on it. So we did move it, but we didn't own it until 20. We didn't go back and pay it. Also, corrected the acreage, to reflect a plat that was submitted to Douglas County. This is a parcel that sits on the Paulding and the Douglas County line. And we had a plat that indicated, out of this, acreage, Douglas County, they would, I think the total was, I'm gonna talk about 562.132 and 563.133, because this plat takes care of both of these parcels. The Douglas County, side of 562.132, this one was, 3.427 acres. And the parcel 3 was 1.52 acres, in Douglas County. This consists of a 23 plus or minus acre tract. There's really no defined line between the two counties of where that line really exists. So for survey purposes, we're going to use that acreage tract. Any questions on that? The next section is all field. 428.18.29. Our value was at 117.2, and this particular one was located in the flood area. It's still just sitting there, the house is just, so, only they just complete based on how you can get down. Parcel 680.18.25, our original value was 9,200,000, and we had an income approach, pro forma that was done that supported the 8.8 million. 93,154. Original value is 819,910. The land was miscalculated due to there was an override on the land value from the decision. And once we removed the override, the value came to 107,3511. Original value was 58,000. This property, the house, moved due to it was placed on the wrong parcel. That value. Is it 2,200 like that? 79,254, 79,258, 79,259. Those go together. 79,254 was a split that occurred, and actually what happened is parcel 8 was assigned to the house, and the acres changed from 4.33 acres to 3.88 acres. So the homestead was taken off 4 and put on parcel 9. 4 was left with the remainder acres of 0.19 acres that reflects the value. Parcel 9, that was a split out of 4 that left with 0.445 of an acre, and that value is left 1,000. And the next section is going to be for discussion, and this is for the parcels that we have brought to the board before. The property that's been in breach for a while. So I'm gonna let Leanne through this, or maybe Ed, do you want to speak on this first, or how we want to proceed? Steve?
Yeah, I can speak on it.
Yeah, she should have it in there.
What that is on there? Well,
Hello.
hello. So what occurred here, was 193,507 and the 193,525. So, I think it was Mr. Palmer who originally owned it, and he owned both of the pieces of property. Well, he sold to Justin or Derek, Stephanie Rogers. But in the deed, it stated it had two parcels. It said parcel 1 and parcel 2. Parcel 1 reflected 193,507, and parcel 2 was 193,525. But it said less and except a 5-acre piece. Okay, so he was retaining ownership of that 5-acre piece. So when that happens, that parcel number stayed with him because he retained owner. So he retained ownership of 193,525, and we assigned a new parcel number to 193,528. So when that occurred, that's when it became in breach. I don't understand all that information, but that's the reason we did what we did and how we assigned the parcel number. So, is that,
Yeah, that's what caused the problem.
yeah, that's what caused the issue. So I think what brought to our attention in the last meeting we had with planning and zoning, and since we've already assigned the parcel, and Ms. Palmer, I think, has already sold that 2.5 as well. Yes. So he no longer owns any of the property.
Mm-hmm.
So now, if the board wants to change those parcel numbers, so we would take 28 and give it to the 5 acres, and take 25 and give it to the bigger piece with 61 acres to correct the breach.
Yeah.
I'm under the understanding that y'all have that authority, and if y'all want to do that, that's fine. But
A quick question, does the owner understand that this would correct the breach? And is he, ready to pay the taxes?
Because part of the breach originally was that the new owner did not continue.
Okay.
No. The breach is breached the moment they got rid of the property. They don't need to continue. We give you the covenant sticks with the owner of the property. The moment the owner sells the property, it's breached.
It's the owner's responsibility.
Yes, it's breached immediate. No one needs to continue the covenant. It's breached immediately. And that's what the covenant said. The buyer is not under obligation to continue. It can be suggested that they continue, but there is no obligation that the buyer continue. So there is an immediate breach once the property is sold.
Let me ask.
numbers, help you out, Lynn, with reference any liens against the title and stuff like that?
Paper trail as far as the.
Covenant is concerned.
As how they filed and when they're filed for farm application.
So it's y'all's recommendation that we do in fact change the number to continue to make sure that the paper trail is followable, for lack of a better term.
For the covenants.
Correct.
Yeah.
I would entertain a motion to change the parcel numbers per Ed's recommendation. By the way, Martin, Ed is our GIS person.
Okay,
He does the GIS mapping appeal.
okay.
That's,
That's it.
that's per the appraisal department. That's not our recommendation,
Right.
but it's just, I don't mean, I'm just trying to get it, you know,
Oh,
all
right,
in.
I got you.
In context.
Yeah, because
Right.
this paper trail will help us out when we change these back.
Right,
And
right.
so we would just go back and say per minutes from such and such board of assessors,
Right.
meeting,
Right.
to change the, parcel number back.
Okay. So I guess a quick question before we take a vote is, I want to find out what would be any financial implications with doing this?
What would be the financial implications of this, Leanne?
Well, the penalty is twice the amount of what you say. So I think we do have an estimated penalty,
Because we have two parcels, large tracts of one seven.
Breaching back.
So we go back on all the years, and this is 2013, 2010, double tax taxes, both parcels double.
So, but the breach is still gonna be liable anyway. Yeah. The breach in question is 72,000 to Mr. Palmer, and
Okay.
this number, this parcel, the breach is, applicable regardless of what we do with the number. So,
Are you playing Christmas music out there?
but changing the numbers will make the paper trail
Consistent.
Consistent.
The covenant.
consistent with the covenant.
The covenant, okay.
What's that?
Okay, understood.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Change the number.
I'll let you get that one still.
Motion, change the number.
They done all the hard work, they just, luckily, they still had my.
We have a motion and a second,
piece they ordered
second to change
replace it.
these parcel
So
numbers
pretty much
so that they will be
just shoved
consistent
it
with the
there.
covenant.
I don't know what they do, I guess they glue it, eat it, or something.
All in favor, say aye.
Stick.
All right.
Can you feel nothing?
Motion passed.
No, I didn't numb it, they just,
So you just went, oh my god.
that wasn't too bad.
You
Like I said,
shoved it in there.
the drilling and all that, that's what's hurt, somebody's already done that. They've already.
So then it's just more so getting it covered and setting it.
And Ed, it's my understanding that if we have issues like this come up again, we'll discuss them.
Yeah, moving forward, if we see a deed come through
With covenant.
with covenant, we're gonna, before we do anything, we're gonna come to Leanne
Or fix the
and,
type. Thank you.
Adrian and say, hey, what,
Um,
before we do this, and we assign new numbers or anything like that, is there any implications of how we do it?
And I think the board is aware that they just felt impelled to do this, reference the way that the title was written and the way it referred to the parcel numbers in the
Yes,
title.
so what, how the deed was written, now, if he doesn't, if it was written a different
I
way,
printed out the quote.
it's been okay, but
Yeah,
the way it was
so
written,
it's
he
just
retained ownership
lost
of that
over.
5 acres.
Yeah, we looked at it
So-
in detail.
Chronologically, you would keep that
Yeah.
parcel ID with him.
Yes, because he kept ownership of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we gave the new parcel, or the bigger parcel, the new number, and the smaller parcel stayed.
Okay, the next two is,
I'm not gonna try to do
Henry
it, just
Margaret.
right up.
he has parcel
I
originally,
guess the synopsis
It
of
was-
both of them. Kinda what
And,
maybe. I don't know, I'll even ask us, they may just.
This one, it sold, it was in the covenant, it was, 56 acres that went in 2020, and he sold it and he split it. And what happened was, the original parcel was 2, but according to how the paperwork, they changed the parcel number from 2 to 5 and the acres from 56 acres to 44 acres. And then there was a parcel that was split out, it was like 10 or 12 acres that is going to this, this new daughter. So this one was another one, same scenario. According to how that deed was stated, written, they have to split it according to that. But we're asking for it to go back to its original number, parcel 2, as the large tract of 44 acres, because it was the original covenant. That was the large tract that was filed.
super fast like a laptop. So,
I would make a motion to keep the parcel number consistent with the large tract.
I'd like to make a motion, we keep the parcel numbers consistent with the original track as identified.
We have a motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Motion passed. Do we have another one, Lynn? Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
They're not hooking up with anything else, they're just hooking up that.
so it will not hook up to a Bluetooth speaker. It will connect to Bluetooth via the iPad. And then just make sure that's on power somewhere.
What was that called?
Just like
The lot of papers.
communication wires got crossed in terms of like, they had a meeting call and her and Chrissy, Phyllis and Chrissy.
Last meeting, I wanted to bring this.
Hey
up.
Lynn, wait a second, all the appeals and the, claim for refunds, they gotta approve that.
Oh, okay.
I would entertain a motion to approve all the previous appeals that we just discussed,
And claim for refunds.
and the refund. Appeals and refunds. Which is one I claim for refund and the appeals. That's what we need the motion for.
Wonderful.
I'll make a motion to accept the claim for refund and the appeal.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thanks for giving us a heads up, Kelly.
Okay, I brought these first 3 to the board last week, and there was some heated area changes that took place, and this was a claim for refund for the 19, 20, and 21 tax year, but the value went up once they went out and did the review, so there's nothing to warrant a refund check. So I don't think I mentioned that in the meeting, last meeting, so this would constitute a no change. I just had
Do you
to
have any days left or any?
advise you of that.
So they need to vote to not change the value, because the way it was in the minutes, we approved a value change instead of no change.
So a value change would then necessitate a refund from the last meeting?
Understand why need
They would have
to-
owed more money because we found more heated square footage, but we don't for requests for refunds, we don't normally increase their value. We would just fix it for the next
He takes off.
tax year.
He's taking
Okay.
off
And the reason we're not doing that this time is because it went up in appraised value?
Yes, they were asking for a refund for 3 years, and it's not warranted a refund.
Okay. Understood. Thank you.
I would entertain a motion to approve the no change on these 3 pieces of property.
Is that still playing?
And I don't know if I said the parcel is 92,550.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion
Which one are you doing next, Lynn?
Okay, the next one's gonna be the pre-BOE agreements and our court settlement. And the section at the top is our 2021 pre-BOE agreements. And, you see the reduction there. The first one, 860-1823, original value was 21,046,300, and we settled at 17,700,000. That was about a 16% reduction. And line 250-157, original value was 13,108,700, and we reduced it to 12,551,500. That was about a 4% reduction. Line 4, 541-1836. Our original value was 732,100. Settled agreement was 650,000. That resulted in about 11% reduction. And then, line 6, 159-2521. Our original value was 4,251,700, and we reduced it to 4,039,000 with 5%. Of course, line 3 and 5, we're able to get our value. Move down to the next section, the court settlements. These are going to come on multiple years. 6/15/1822. We have a 2020, 2021, and a 2022. The 2020 was settled at the 180-day value of 2,500,000. 2021, we settled at a little bit of a rate increase between 6.5% and 7% at 2,675,000. And then for 2022, a gradual increase to 2,850,000. You drop down to line 3, 161-2544. They were given their 180-day value, starting value for 2020 at 1,750,000. 2021, the value went up about 8% to 1,900,000, and then for 2022, we settled at 2,125,000.
You have a little typo there. It says 19
I
million.
know.
You're gonna say that's a little bit more than 8%.
It's a million and nine.
Yeah, okay.
And then if you drop down to line 5, 478-1822. On that one, we gave them the starting value for 2020 at $7 million. For 2021, we settled at 7,750,000. And 2022, 8,500,000. Line 5, 904-1824. 180-day asserted value was 1 million even. 2021, we settled at 1,075,000. And 2022, we settled at 1,150,000. Line 7, 2253, that takes to 8 and 9. They were given the 299C of 305,500.
And a quick question, I forgot, the 299C, does that mean 3 years?
Okay.
A 3-year
And that
agreement.
would be for 1921.
Do you have any problems with any of these settlement agreements?
We have to accept those.
Okay. I would entertain a motion to approve these items as noted.
I make a motion that we approve the court settlements and the BOE settlements as identified in spreadsheets.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Thank you, Lynn.
Now we're moving to our first BOE, meeting at December the 18th, 2021. This is the result of that meeting. Yeah,
You know what she means, know what she said.
that's right, that's right, I like that. Okay, so here that the set changes on this menu. 708-1822, our BOA value is at 3,800,000, and BOE is 507,250. That results in almost an 8% cut. 708-1823, BOA value is at 2,948,900. BOE reduced it to 2,675,520. Second cut there. 708-1825, BOA value is 3,900,000. BOE reduction 3,436,800. 7.5%. 708-1826, BOA value is 6,613,500. BOE reduced to 5,016,240. 15%. And 708-1827, BOA value is at 1,692,000. The BOE reduction is 1,330,688. Last one, 771-1821. BOA value is at 3,811,000, and BOE reduced to 3,420,000. And that was about it. The dollars per square foot pretty much.
It's probably kind of interesting if they showed up, if they had everything in the evidence says no, no, no.
Exactly.
They don't show any evidence and you get a $1 million cut.
Yeah, that's a significant cut. We
BOE
can get values up.
is comfortable with these square footage adjustments.
They were.
Do you have any big thing we can beat them in court with? I would recommend a motion to approve these.
Motion is that we approve the, statement regarding BOE meeting of 11/18/21.
Have a motion and a second, any discussion?
Just wanted to get an idea of what the difference is, just a kind of a total value there. That's about about 2 million.
You're in the 3 million range.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty significant. 2.8 billion, that's significant.
Appealed properties though, we normally have a percentage of appeals, and settlement normally range between 0 to 15%, so that's typical.
All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Carries.
Okay, the next meeting. Got that one right.
Good.
This is gonna be real quick.
No change.
Okay, saw that, that's nice. Actually, they didn't show up, so. Yeah, by default, we're.
So in that instance, was there constituted an actual meeting that was held?
Yes, they did. They No online, no calls, no virtual.
I would entertain a motion to approve these no changes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the no changes from the BOE dated 11/29/2021.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
The next meeting is November the 30th. And this is gonna be a demo of
Here.
what we just did. Same thing.
Okay.
FYI.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the BOE appeals dated 11/30/2021.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
See, on the first line, that was almost a 5% cut. 5/8. 8.6. 5 is 8.76. Got down to 11. 7% cut. 12. 5.
Anything of particular note? Discussion?
No, these are just, houses in neighborhoods. Sales ratios were, shown, and pretty much they still go by the price per square foot, that's how they do it. Value to that.
I would entertain a motion to approve these items. Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Third.
Is that the third or the second?
This is the third. You give me the second?
The last one was December the 1st. This one's December the 3rd.
Yeah, it's around here somewhere. I mean,
What is the third? I've already got it figured out. I'll do the second next.
Villages at Brookline.
Now these, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Brookmont, but, this area here was lots that were bought in the downturn, thinking that they were gonna go in and start building and profiting, and unfortunately, this is a lot of the wet area and the rock outcrops, and, they pretty much, proved to the board of equalization that they weren't worth the 20, like they did reduce the 800, resulted in the 20. But I think we should accept these values.
I would entertain a motion to accept these votes. BOE meeting is 12/3/20. Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
I had a quick question, sorry. I was just curious, are these lots or is there any developers that's potentially interested or looking at building out these lots?
There is, but at this time, we can't do anything with them. They would probably have to have some type of site prep, or, that's to be determined later though. At this time, they can't be doing it.
Okay. Yeah, I was just trying to figure out what the motivation was there. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. He said-
All right, I'm that boy. December the second, line two, we've got almost an 8% back. Line three, again, almost 8. Line five, 5%, and then dropping down to line 8, we have a 3. What is it, second?
I entertain a motion to approve these items.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the Board of Equalization evaluation for minutes of meeting dated December 2nd, 2021.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Last one, December the 7th. Bring us up to date.
Got some paperwork on it. Hands up. Okey dokey, here we go.
Funny, Bob.
No rest.
All right, on this meeting, we have one change, line 1, 791598, vacant .73 acres. This is a lot that sits on the corner of Saddle Brook Drive and Slater Mill over by the hospital.
Yeah, that's at the bottom of the hill, isn't it?
Pretty, almost.
Okay.
It's almost 2 lots up. But, you know, the BOE reduced it 20%, from 25 to 1,000.
We entertain a motion to approve these items from December the 7th.
Make a motion that we approve, two the items from the BOE meeting held on 12/7/20.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Do you have any further business, Mr. Doctor?
No, I have covered what we have. The board is current.
All we have to do is sign a bunch of stuff and then we'll adjourn the meeting.
No, determine next
the
meeting.
next
Are we
meeting,
gonna have one in December?
If y'all would like to,
Let's
y'all
not.
would need, you two would like to.
We actually tried to get most of the pressing stuff in this meeting, because we know that next 2 weeks, so.
It's up to you guys. Y'all are good, we're, okay. What's your feeling?
One thing I do know, I know.
Hang on.
The user.
Yeah, but I think they're about to adjourn though, so I'm
Stop
listening
to
for that.
I'm available if y'all think y'all have anything, I can meet December 22nd.
No, I don't wanna be there.
At this time, is December the 22nd okay with you, Martin? Or will you
Yeah.
be in Aiken?
Yeah, at this time, that's good with me.
Okay, well, December the 22nd, then will be the next meeting.
So be it.
I have one discussion point.
I'm going to go home.
Last time, we made a, date of the first, no, everybody has a schedule. So I think it's, October 15th, if we're gonna change the meeting, that everybody is contacted and asked whether or not they can make the meeting.
Good point.
And,
Good
so
point.
if we start forward, I would greatly appreciate.
Good point. And it'll be done. It'll be before the meeting gets changed, not after the meeting gets changed.
Yes.
A lot of times that thing makes things more amenable to people adjusting their schedule.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. So it'll be December the 22nd, Kelly. We just got the papers to sign before we can meet.
All right. With that said, then I'll go ahead and drop off, and I will make plans to come in, sign documents later this afternoon.
And just for the record, there's no problem with adjourning the meeting and signing the documents. It's just that we need to be wary of the open meeting. We cannot discuss anything among us after the adjournment.
Okay.
That's all. But we can adjourn and sign the documents here.
I would entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting at this time.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second,
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.